Hey guys, so we are now going to increase the heart rate with a full body workout routine, and we're going to build our own complex. So a complex is a series of exercises using minimal equipment, usually one piece of equipment, and a series of exercises back to back with little to no rest in between. So you have 12 exercises listed. You're going to choose one on the upper, one on the lower, one on cardio and one on core. And you're going to build a 4 exercise complex. You're then going to go through it 3 times. It's going to take you about 7 minutes, I should say. Not about, because you're going to be using a rigid time scheme with your phone, watch, whatever it is. You're going to work for 40 seconds work and then 5 seconds to transition to the next exercise. So the first 3 exercises that you can choose from are lower body, and it's going to be a rear lunge, it's going to be a squat, or it's going to be a single leg Romanian deadlift. So with or without your weight, it's entirely up to you. You're going to hold your bell, you're going to kick your leg back, drop your knee to the floor and come back, feet with a football gap between. So kick back, drop, tip the floor to your knee, come back up tall. So we're looking for 40 seconds, and you're going to have as many reps as you can in 40 seconds. You can alternate if you want, and you can hold the weight in 2 hands. As long as you are getting full range of movement, dropping your knee all the way to the floor, driving through the sole of the foot, squeezing your abs and coming up tall. So the aim is to get as many reps as you can with perfect technique in that 40 seconds. You're then going to move on to your next exercise, which is an upper body exercise. But I'm going to go through the other 2 lower body that you can choose before we go into that. So the next one you can choose is a squat. So again, same position with the bell. I'm going to have my feet shoulder width, push my hips back, sit down into my squat, drive the soles of the feet into the floor. So I come up. So it's a big inhale, hips back and down, drive through the soles of the feet. And again, you can hold the bell in 1 hand, in 2 hands. It doesn't really matter, as long as you do as many reps with perfect technique as possible in the 40-second window. And the last one you can do on the lower body is single leg Romanian deadlift. That's where you're replacing the foot on the floor with the bell in your hand. So for example, I'm kicking my right leg back behind me and my bell goes down using my right hand towards the floor. Maintain posture at all times through the shoulder blades. I'm looking to keep the weight distributed evenly through the sole of the left foot, and my shoulder blades are pinned back like I'm squeezing a tennis ball between them at all times. So again, you can alternate them, or you can go 1 round entirely on one side and vice versa. So those are your 3 lower body exercises. Choose one, do 40 seconds, take a 5-second breather, and then move into one of the next exercises. So we're going to go push-ups, single arm row, or overhead press. So push-ups, whether you use knees up or knees down, it's entirely up to you. Hands are directly beneath your shoulders, fingers are splayed. Big inhale as you drop your chest onto the floor between your thumbs. Big squeeze on your abs as you push yourself through the floor and away from it. Big inhale down, big squeeze on the abs, push yourself away from the floor. We're keeping our elbows folded back at about 45 degrees. We don't want them flared out 90 degrees from the torso. So abs are really important in your push-ups. So remember to really concentrate on squeezing those abs as you push yourself away from the floor. So the next exercise you can go into is a pull. It's going to be a single arm row, shoulders back, soft knees, push your hips back, maintain that perfect posture. If necessary, you can put your hand on your knee to support yourself as you draw from that lat and bring the bell or weight up to your armpit. Now we squeeze our abs in order to maintain that perfect posture. We don't want to carjack ourselves up with every rep. We want to stay over, upper body parallel with the floor at all times. And again, you can alternate, or you can go one side entirely, as long as you keep that body over parallel with the floor at 90 degrees on the hips. And then the last upper body exercise you can choose from is an overhead press. So the bell is going to be racked against the chest, big squeeze on the abs, punch it skyward. Bring her back down, focus on the drop on the elbow in order to fold your shoulder blades in and down on the back, big squeeze on the abs, push yourselves up. So we're looking for full range of movement. Again, you can go 2 hands if the one arm is too much and your technique starts to fail. So the idea is to get as many reps as possible in 40 seconds on one of those 3 exercises. Then you're moving into your core exercise, and it's going to be, you're going to have Russian twists. You're then going to have thread the needle and then we're going to have kettlebell pull-throughs or weighted pull-throughs. So the first one of the 3 core exercises you can choose is a Russian twist. You're going to sit down on the floor, you're going to grab your weight, you can go unweighted as well. Heels are very lightly on the floor, try not to cross your ankles, and you're going to lean back. So I've got tension on my abs from the lean, my heels are very lightly on the floor. I'm going to rotate all the way over, touch the floor on my left with the bell, and then rotate all the way around, touch the bell on the right. So again, maintaining that perfect posture, I'm looking to isolate my obliques. I don't want to take my feet off the floor, because when you take your feet off the floor, the body counter moves, and it actually takes pressure off the abs. Remember, you're trying to isolate the stomach muscles. So if you keep your heels on the floor, they have no option but to twist against that resistance in your hands and against the movement that your body is creating. After that, you're then going to go thread the needle. So you can put your bell on the floor in front of you. You're going to lean back on your hands, arms straight. Your legs are going to be to the left of the bell together. You're going to draw your knees into your chest and then out to the right hand side. Tip the floor very lightly with your heels into the chest, out to the left hand side. In, out, touch, in, out, touch. And you're very lightly leaning back on your hands, just enough to keep tension on the core and target those abs. And then the last one you can do is a plank position. The bell is behind your wrist. You're going to reach under, across the body, bring the bell across, back to the plank. Reach under, bring the bell across, back to the plank. So I'm reaching under with my right hand, taking it from the left and bringing it over to the right, maintaining that perfect parallel angle with the hips on the floor. Squeeze my abs, bring it back to the left. And we're basically playing tennis, left and right with the bell. So as you lift one hand off the floor, you become more unstable, so you got to compensate by squeezing your abs. As you pull the weight across, you require more stability, so you've got to squeeze your abs. So consciously squeeze your abs when you're doing the plank work, because if you don't, your hips are going to start to rotate, and that brings in momentum, which in turn doesn't keep the focus on the abs. So the next 3 exercises you can choose from are cardio. It's going to be mountain climbers, it's going to be burpees, or it's going to be man makers. And again, you're going to go 40 seconds worth of work and then a 5-second breather. So mountain climbers are a high plank position, and you're going to draw your right knee under the body to try and touch your left elbow, and then back to the plank and left to right. So we're rotating that knee under the body, as big a rotation as possible and as big a draw up to the elbow as possible. So your mountain climbers will ramp that heart rate up, and you got to really focus on load bearing through the whole palm, because if you only keep the weight through the heel of your palm, your shoulders are going to burn out pretty quickly. So try and utilize the full surface area of the palm of your hand. Next one, everybody's favorite, well mine, burpees. Rule number 1 with burpees, get your hands on the floor. Once you get your hands on the floor, the rest will happen. So it's hands down, and then whether you jump or walk the legs back and drop the chest all the way to the floor, squeeze your abs, push yourself away, bring the legs in and up, clap above the head. So it's hands down, legs go out by any means possible, lie down fully on the floor, bring your knees back in, and then up, clap above the head. Down, out, chest, in, up, clap. And then the last cardio exercise you can choose is a man maker. That's going to be 2 rear lunges, kick back, drop, tip, up, kick back, drop, tip, up, and then a squat. So it's going to be lunge, lunge, squat, lunge, lunge, squat. And pay particular attention to the full range of movement on the lunge and the hip drop on the squat. So you don't need a kettlebell for that one. Trust me, you can tell by my breathing, my heart rate is high. So the aim is to choose 1 lower body exercise, 1 upper body exercise, 1 core exercise, 1 cardio exercise. 40 seconds, 5 seconds breather, 40 seconds, 5 seconds breather, 40 seconds, 5 second breather, 40 seconds. And you're going to go through that complex 3 times. The aim is to get at least 2 complexes done. And yes, you can repeat exercises and avoid specific exercises, i.e. burpees, if you so wish. So, any problems, any questions, throw a comment or a question at us and we'll be able to answer it for you. In the meantime, enjoy, and make life richer.